So on a cold evening in Canberra, the first T20I at the Manuka Oval, Australia have won the toss and they have opted to bowl. Now, it is a very simple situation. India continued to suffer in the tosses. Looking at it, when will they win a toss? But that doesn't matter because India have been winning matches in the T20I format as and when it has happened. I mean, two dominant sides heading into this series, and there are some changes in the Indian lineup as well. Now, as far as the Indian playing 11 is concerned, after Australia won the toss and opted to bowl, we all knew the batting order would be quite similar. We look at Gill, Abhishek, Tilak, Suryakumar Yadav, Dubey, Akshar. I mean, Sanju, Samson will definitely come higher up the order, but looking at it, this is the core of the Indian batting lineup that has done well throughout the last 2 years. Shubman Gill, Abhishek Sharma, Tilak Varma, Suryakumar Yadav, Shivam Dubey, Sanju Samson, Akshar Patel. Then you've got Harshit Rana in at 8. And then you have Jasprit Bumrah as your other pacer, and you've got your three spinners in Varun Chakravarti, Kuldeep Yadav. So there is still no Rinku Singh. I mean, Rinku Singh was the last shot that he played. He hit a boundary to help India win that Asia Cup final. But there is no place for Arshdeep. Now this is where the debate is going to come in. I mean, why no Arshdeep when you've got Harshit Rana, who has been expensive, but remember, he's heading into this match on the back of some very good performances in the ODIs, especially in the game against Australia in Sydney, where he took 4 wickets. Heading into that confidence, Harshit Rana was persisted with, and that is why he's going to open alongside Jasprit Bumrah. So Shivam Dubey will be your third pacer, and then you've got three spinners in Akshar, Kuldeep and Varun Chakravarti. Now, this is the trio that has ensured that run scoring is made very difficult in the middle overs. But Manuka Oval, Canberra, when you look at it, the average score is 153, and bat first, bowl first teams that have done it, batting first, they have won twice, batting second, teams have won twice. The pitch is considered to be an absolute belter. But it is early season in Manuka. How will the bounce play out? How will the pace of the wicket be? That is a bit of an unknown. So that is why India will get first use of the wicket. But Suryakumar Yadav mentioned in the toss that yes, we were wanting to bat first. But there is a major update on Nitish Reddy. That is what we came to know from the host broadcasters when the toss happened. Nitish Reddy was not picked, but he will not be available for the three T20Is as there. This one, then on the 31st and then on the 2nd. Nitish Kumar Reddy is unavailable for the first three T20Is because of an injury that he sustained. So that is why India will be hamstrung by the fact that, okay, Shivam Dubey will get an extended run once Nitish Kumar Reddy is fit. For the two T20Is will be played in Gold Coast and Brisbane. Perhaps Nitish Reddy will be fitted in and Shivam Dubey might be resting at this point. So in the power play, when you look at it, Bumrah, Dubey, and then you're looking at it, even Harshit Rana, those are the guys who can step up and do it. So that is the current situation. As far as the Australian team is concerned, Travis Head, Mitchell Marsh, Josh Inglis, Josh Philippi, Tim David, Mitch Owen, Marcus Stoinis, Xavier Bartlett, Matthew Kuhneman, Nathan Ellis, Josh Hazlewood. Now, Hazlewood versus Abhishek Sharma, that is going to be the key battle that we have to look up to. Will Abhishek Sharma dominate the way how he has been dominating in the power plays? Will he dispatch Hazlewood and all the others to the fence? But remember, the one ace that Australia have is Matthew Kuhneman. In that 26-over game in Perth, he bowled a brilliant spell, and that is why Kuhneman will be the key. Bartlett has been there. If you look at the spin options, there isn't much for the Australian team at this point in time. Remember, Maxwell will only come into the picture after the third T20I is done. He'll be available for the fourth and the fifth T20I that is there. So, Mitch Owen can bowl a bit of medium pace. Then you've got Bartlett, you've got Ellis, you've got Hazlewood. So, two very contrasting bowling lineups when you look at. India are spin heavy because that's their strength. Australia are pace heavy because that is their strength. But looking at the overall record of Australia versus India, it's a no-brainer. India are very heavily the favourites because 2011, that is the head-to-head record that you've got. And India, when you look at it, the last two bilateral series that they played against Australia, they have won it quite comfortably in Australia. The previous time they played, 2023, India won it 4-1. So that is why Australia will know what is heading for them. But Australia, on the other hand, the last two bilaterals that they played at home, they have managed to win it. And it is the clash of the unbeaten teams that you look at it in this series, because Australia are on the back of 9 consecutive series wins that they have had. Plus, last time they played the West Indies 5-0, plus the way how they beat New Zealand in the last series that they had before this. It's a clear-cut indicator that yes, it is going to be a dominant series by 2 dominant nations in this particular format. Will Australia get the first advantage, or do you think India will continue the dominance that has been there? I mean, when was the last time they lost? That you have to mention. And a 90% success rate that you have had in the last 2 years is only a testament to the fact that this Indian team, to beat them is very, very difficult. And on top of that, 2 bilateral series wins in Australia. It truly represents the heights of dominance that's there. So we are all set for action. Abhishek Sharma versus Josh Hazlewood, that will be the key. One hopes that Suryakumar Yadav comes to form here, because this is a big, big series for him. If he doesn't do well with the bat, questions will continue to swirl. But as far as India is doing well, maybe Suryakumar Yadav can have a longer rope. But the Indian batting is in good touch. Important match even for Shubman Gill. Combined, when you look at 3 innings, he just did not look the part in the ODIs. And in the ODI team, the one damning stat that is doing the round, Virat Kohli, despite 2 ducks, outperformed Shubman Gill with a 74 in Sydney. Gill has to really step up. And the T20Is, Asia Cup barring 1 knock, he didn't do well. Which position Sanju Samson will bat? That is very, very important when you look at it. So we are all set for India versus Australia. The fireworks are going to explode at the Manuka Oval in Canberra. Very cold evening. One hopes that we see some swing and some bounce. But looking at the total, India will do well if they get to 180, 190. And then with their troika of spinners that's there, perhaps Australia will then find it a bit difficult. Normally in the summer months, there is dew in Canberra. Here, I don't think there'll be any dew. So the wicket might get slower as the game progresses. So Australia have opted to bowl. We'll be back for the mid-innings for the India versus Australia match in Canberra. Let's see how that pans out. So thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this update. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis.